Morning, afternoon. I need my other phone, but alas. Hello, good afternoon. How y'all ladies doing? Hi, Felicia. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, you should know. Let me make sure my screen is clear. Good afternoon. Sunday sermon is now in session. What we got today? What we got today? What we got today? Do I play some music? What are we in the mood for today? Mr. Paul, Bree, AD, hi. Good day. How y'all feeling today? Who went to church? Raise your hand. I knew it. I knew it. Why y'all didn't go to church today? Huh. Hello. Not the tear emoji. Why you ain't go to church, sis? There's still time. No. Once noon hits, you're not part of the real saints, you know? True saints go to church by 10:30 is the latest. After that, sorry, honey. No, I'm just joking. Hi from San Francisco. Hi, Tracy Anderson. Tracy Anderson method. San Francisco is an interesting city to me. How do you feel about living in San Francisco? You look like a woman of color. Tell me your thoughts on San Francisco. Don't forget to like the live. Hey y'all, happy Sunday. What was the word in service today? Type what y'all learned in service today. It's okay, I didn't go either. First time in a month, but your girl, I went to Dumbo House and then I went to Zero Bond. And ever since I turned 30, 2 drinks, I'm under the bed, under the club. I cannot stomach alcohol anymore. I think I'm gonna go sober. I think it's that time. I cannot drink. Once I turned 30, I'm 32 now. Once I turned 32, sobriety is chasing me. I just can't do it. I feel so ill. I'm not on my best behavior today. Yes, it will be on YouTube. Okay, all right, let me see. Hi from Dallas. Okay, Mr. Paul. Mr. Paul, you single? You looking for a wife? There's some good women in this chat, okay? Okay, let's see what we got. Hey girl, hi Tiara. Where do people go for New Year's other than St. Bart's? South Africa. You can go to Rio, Ghana, Nigeria, Yabed, whatever speaks to you. This year, I think a lot of people are going to be in South Africa, is my understanding. I also think everyone goes to Ghana and Nigeria around that time as well. And then, yeah, I would say stay away from like like New York City is always dead during New Year's. I would say, like Miami is always dead. I would do international. St. Bart's, you really got to be built for St. Bart's, and I'm not. I'm not built for it. I'm sorry. We booked it. We were supposed to go this year, and we canceled it because we were like, it's all day and all night. Not a lot of people of color. It's obviously very, 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 very extraordinarily expensive. And you just gotta, that has to be your vibe. Like you have to enjoy listening to house music, not seeing a ton of diversity. You know, it's older. It's gonna be significantly older too. So for me, that is not my vibe. I can do Saint-Tropez for a little shopping moment, but I'm not spending New Year's there. So those are my options for you. Okay. Wagwan, what we got? Oh, Quincy Jones, girl. That documentary on Netflix is so good. I love that Quincy Jones documentary. San Francisco is beautiful. Okay, I love that. Finally, is your vibe, girl. Are you one of the everybody? No. Jody, drop the tea on your dentist. Oh, you see it shining? Let me tell you the tea. First of all, Invisalign. I have a brace behind my teeth right now. I have a permanent retainer because I did Invisalign for maybe 16 months, 18 months, and it was one of the best investments. I hands down think everyone should get braces, Invisalign. That will elevate your look almost instantly. And then you get a permanent retainer, and that will help keep your teeth aligned, because a lot of people, they get these braces or Invisalign and then they end up not wearing their retainer, and then you end up starting from scratch, start back at one. So I do the permanent retainer behind my teeth. It gives me a lisp a little bit, but I will suffer for beauty, so that's fine. And then I also use this mouthwash. It is called TheraBreath, and it's the whitening one. That keeps your teeth white. I also floss every night and use a tongue scraper and use that mouthwash, and that will have your teeth shiny. Okay, let me see. Let me scroll up. Recommendations for lipo doctors. Girl. Well, there is actually someone, what is her name? Dana. Her name is Dana on Instagram. She's a popular Instagram girl who covers a lot of surgery. I don't remember her name, but she has in her bio, she has a link of cosmetic doctors. That is something that you are interested in. Okay, let's see. Oh, love seeing, thank you, honey. How was the atmosphere at Zero Bond? Rich. It is rich. It's not very diverse at all. It's slightly older than like an Amman or Casa Tripriani, but it's gonna be every time I go, it's lots of models and then lots of very, very rich men. And that's just sort of the vibe, and not a lot of people of color. So it's cute. Sometimes I'll also host a lot of parties there, like athletes or entertainers will host events there, but I don't necessarily know if that's my vibe either. I personally like being around my people. So if you're okay with a not very diverse crowd, it's gorgeous. The food is much better than at a lot of other members only clubs. I've seen the most diversity outside of Soho House actually at the Ned. The Ned had a lot of people of color, shockingly, if you live in New York City. But Zero Bond is a little bit cooler, a little bit more hip, a little bit more fun. The girls are really dressed out. It's a lot of like models, fashion girls, rich wives. It's very, very sexy, very, very cute. It's not too old either, but it's just not diverse, so I don't know. But I get individuals. Thank you, honey. You went to St. Bart's last year. It was fun. Really? You had fun? Oh, tell us more, girl. Tell us more. Because I can't do it. Oh, I love Fortune and Forks. So someone said, can you tell us more about Fortune and Forks? That is a like women's members only club, but it's kind of virtual. I really love Fortune and Forks. I know the girls who run it, and they have been doing an awesome job. What I like about Fortune and Forks, and why I think a lot of you all should consider joining, the target demo is probably women between the ages of 21 and 31, I would say is the maximum. The median age is probably 25. And a lot of them work in media and in television. So if you are a young woman living in a major city who works in media, television, entertainment, one of those, you have an automatic community. And what I also love about Fortune and Forks is that they will host events in their respective city. So they will host an event in Miami. They will host an event in LA. For Essence, they will host an event. For Art Basel, they'll host an event. So if you are going to some of these events and you don't have a community, or you don't really like know of events to go to, like they're gonna host a Fashion Week event. They're going to host an Art Basel event. So that way you're kind of like built-in community, even if you don't know people who are in that city. So I really like Fortune and Forks. I think it is a great investment. Hi, Kenya is in the house. You know Nairobi is one of my favorite cities, girl. You know that. Oh, you know what? My lash tech, she moved to LA, y'all, a year ago. So unfortunately, I have to go into a place now. The ghetto. Just kidding. Have you been to London? Girl, yes, I just came back from London. Sarah RDL. I don't like London that much. I'm so sorry. I'm a New York girly. London to me it's cold, it's rainy, the food is less good, and it's less diverse. But I like Dishoom. I like I think I like the Soho House out there, and that's all I got. Sorry, I'm not a London girl. I am not a London girl. I think there's Annabelle's, I think, is a members only club out there. I don't really spend out. I used to live in London. When I worked at Google, I had a 3-month internship in London. And child, you couldn't get me out there fast enough. It's not giving, bruv. It ain't giving. It's a bit dry, isn't it? Where's the people of color at? Where's the vibes? Where's the foods? It just didn't give to me. Okay, let's see. What would you recommend a woman 25 in corporate? Oh, child, why did I just miss it? I scrolled all the way up. my British accent's actually quite good, isn't it? Yeah, it's like my little party trick. I'm a girl from Kensington. I'm from the ends, from South London. All right, so cold already. At least you like Shoreditch. I don't like any of it, if I'm going to be honest. They had a Revolve party. Didn't really need an invite, yes. Foundation and concealer. Oh, you know what? I don't really wear foundation that much. I wear Bobbi Brown foundation, which is like OG. Like, I'm not a makeup girl. I need to learn how to be makeup. And then I use, what do I use? I use Kosas. One thing I'm going to learn this year is how to do makeup. Once I learn how to do makeup, it's over for you girls. Like, once I really learn, I follow Annie. Annie is my girl, and she really knows how to beat a face. And I'm going to sit and study her videos a little bit. I'm also going to study, like, Aaliyah's face. I know you guys, you girls used to love Amaya Cologne's makeup, but I don't know if she's still kosher these days with all the drama. But, sorry, that light is just too bright. But, yeah, those sorts of girls I'm going to study. And once I figure out that makeup, ooh, I'm gonna eat y'all up. To-dos at Art Basel this year. Good question. Transparently, when I go, that's what I figure out what to do. But your best bet, the ground zero for Art Basel will always be Soho House. If you have a Soho House membership, I literally know people who buy Soho House memberships just for Art Basel. And it's like the meeting grounds. Like, regardless of what events, at the end of the night, everyone goes there. During the day, everyone goes there. Soho House. There's also a museum. It's called the Rubinstein Museum, I believe. They have really great art if you want to go see art. What else? I didn't go last year. I went, or did I? Meta, like, a lot of these corporations usually have really big fun parties. So if you know someone at a large corporation, like Meta usually does an event. And that's kind of all that comes to mind. A museum, Meta, and then Soho House is just going to be your best friend during Art Basel. Like, Soho House is always going to be it. South Africa. Oh my gosh. I can't, I'm going there for New Year's, girl. I'm so excited. My first time in South Africa. Okay, this light is not giving. Or is it giving? Maybe we'll bring the light back. Okay. What would you recommend to a woman 25 in corporate that wants to have a more balanced life? Get hobbies. Decenter men. Understand what your passion, purpose, and vision is. So I think right now at 25, you're in data collection phase. I would say, like, you're just at the tail end of figuring out who you are. So I want you to start cataloging which projects bring you joy, what like types of work, what hobbies bring you joy. Like, you're in the self-discovery phase. So really lean into figuring out what lights you up, what drains you, and this will help you get more clarity on your purpose. And then once you have that clarity, then you can kind of go into your late 20s and early 30s with a clear vision. But honestly, in your 20s, it should be discovery, trying as many things as possible, and just getting balance from leaning into things that bring you joy, that light you up, that are your passions, and then anything outside of that, drop them quickly. Hi, as told by Lo. Okay, let's see. And don't forget to like the live, girl. Don't forget to like the live. Amex. Oh, yes. American Express during Art Basel. That is like the best brunch. American Express has a brunch on, I think that's Saturday or Sunday. It starts at like 12 or 1 p.m. But that brunch is the brunch to go to. Hey, beautiful. I have a quick question. I love your content. Could you recommend someone? Recommend someone for what? Museum. Yes, the Ruble Museum. Yes, that's the museum I was trying to remember. And the American Express brunch. That is where you need to be. Hey, girl. Welcome. I love Annie. That's my girl. Yes, Bobbi Brown Stick Foundation. Favorite fictional novel? Girl. Oh, my God. So many. 7 Days in June. Pachinko. I'm reading Tomorrow right now. I love American Marriage is one of my favorite books. I used to love Junot Diaz. The Odyssey when I was a kid was one of my favorite books. Girl, fiction is my bag. I can talk about book talk all day. Do you think Fortune and Forks will accept people in healthcare? Probably. I'm sure they want to diversify their portfolio. How can I make new friends with people who share the same interests as me? How often are you engaging in activities where you would meet said people who would help you, you would align with, right? So if you're interested in cooking, are you partaking in that activity? Are you going to cooking courses? Are you going to your local Williams and Sonoma or Sur La Table and going to an event? That is how you would find people who are interested in similar things, if that's important to you. Girl, I don't believe in London, child. Favorite place for leisure? My bed. I don't like leaving the house. Leaving the house is not in my testimony. If I had to go out in New York City, it would probably be to Dumbo House or Zero Bond or a friend's house. I'm not a go out girl. I hate being outside. Unless I'm out of town, unless I'm OT, I'm IN the bed. Okay, what do you think of the Met theme? Black dandyism. Oh, that's a good question. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I'm very curious how the girls are going to show up, especially some of these girls. Very, very curious. I also kind of do wish they had a Black woman like Tiana Taylor on the board as well. I think she also embodies Black tailoring and like suiting, and she does suiting really well. So I do wish Tiana Taylor was also on the board because I think it would have ate down. But I think it's really interesting. Coleman Domingo, perfect. I think LeBron is like a co-chair. Who else is a chair? Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton. Those men are exceptional dressers. So I'm A$AP Rocky. Let me tell you something. And this goes into the TikTok video I just posted right before I got on this live. Let me tell you, men know what they're doing. You think A$AP Rocky is getting on the board of the Met Gala pre-Rihanna? He knows what he's doing, and he's not playing around with her. And I mean, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. These men know what they're doing. These men know what they're doing. I will always say, I would never say this. I say this in a trusted circle, like live on the internet. Men are the biggest groupies, and I will stand by that. Men are the biggest groupies. Men, have you ever seen how fast a man will drop their wife, their girlfriend, their baby mother to date a Kardashian, to date a Taylor Swift, to date a Rihanna? The way that they will drop whoever they're dating, men understand financial mobility more than women do. Or they lean into it more than women do. Men, I know someone who married one of the heirs of a, like, I'm not gonna say the actual company, but Walmart. Let's say it's Walmart. It's not Walmart, but something similar to Walmart. She's not a looker, and he is fine. But he was like, we into this bag. I don't know what this whole big thing about women being gold diggers are. Men are the groupies, and I stand by it. I stand by that. Men are the biggest groupies in the world. Have you ever seen a man be so hyped to talk to an Instagram girl or like the founder of a company? They are so excited to do that. Ciao. Men are the groupies. And y'all can argue with me in the comments if you want to. Okay, I'm scrolling. Best self-development books you've ever read. Psycho-Cybernetics. I think the best self-development books I've ever read have always been therapeutic. So Psycho-Cybernetics was one. Homegoing by, I think his name is John Bradshaw, is another one. Something You Are the Mountain, I believe it's called, is another really good one where essentially you are creating all the obstacles of your own life. Another really good one, Life Entrepreneurship. My friend Ashley recommended that by, I think it's David Gergen. She recommended that and I started that one. How to Collect Art. If you're interested in like building an art collection journey, that's another really good one. So yeah. Okay, hi Forever D Lee. What do you recommend for a 35-year-old that wants to get back into being social? Hey girl, it's never too late. So one, I hope you don't feel like, oh my God, I'm past the moment. You are not past the moment. If you want to get back into being social, I don't know what stopped you from being social. So that will also determine my answer, but vaguely, I would say figure out a few events that I would say bucket them in two ways. Figure out events that make you feel comfortable and safe if you're just now getting back into the like hobbies. Like a book club, like low stakes things that make you just want to engage, where you feel comfortable, where you feel safe. It's hobbies, things like that. Then you can move on to like larger social, if you're talking about galas and things like that. Maybe join a board of an organization that you're really passionate about, or a philanthropic organization. That can also really help introduce you back into the social society without it feeling overwhelming or like you're social climbing or things like that. Like you can kind of finesse by doing things that are aligned to your passions, that you'll meet people, and then you'll go from there. What's the name of the instructor on how to pose? Oh, ladies, make sure if you're wherever you are, sit on the, oh child, not me falling. Okay, sit on the edge of your seat like this. She told me to sit on the edge of your seat. Are you sitting on the edge of your seat? Shoulders back. I don't know, I feel like I look a little insane like this, but like this. Is everyone doing it? If you're looking down like this, she told me the phone works for you. Bring your phone up. I know y'all are hunchbacked looking over at your phone right now like this. Go ahead for me. Bring it here. Okay? Okay? Everyone doing it? Her name is Brittany Hales. You can find her on my Instagram. Also, if you go through the comments, she's replying back. So she's based in New York City, but there you go. That posing class was so fun and so cute, and she was amazing. She did a whole thing about, well, I'll tell you what she taught me. String from the top of your head, and then shoulders back. She would karate chop me in my shoulders and do that. I think oftentimes you have a tendency to go like this, chin down, shoulders back. Basically everything has to be tight. Your abs have to be tight, your booty sticking out a little bit, almost like you're in a plank. And then T-shape with your feet. I would do it for y'all, but I'm in sweatpants and house slippers. Can't do it for the brand. But your feet should be in T-shape. So almost like this. And you just stand and you look and you serve a look and you serve a look and you serve a look. And then she was like, okay, let's say you're going down a red carpet. Paparazzi's calling your name. This is manifestation too. I said, let me get ready for the life I want to live. Paparazzi's calling your name. Then you gotta say, okay, thank you. Give them a last serve. And then walk. And that's what she taught me. And she also said, be very intentional with your movements, especially if you're being photographed, but just generally, I think dancers know this a lot. I did not dance growing up. I ain't got no rhythm. But like as you move, every move should be intentional. So even as you're coming out of your pose, you lift up, you swing your foot, and then you walk off. Like you don't just like, okay, done, bye. Like continue to be elegant. She also taught me, which I've been practicing, especially if you live in New York and you commute, or even if you're like at a desk or something, sit on the edge. Like don't use your back. Sit on the edge and then practice, because it's like muscles, right? It's ab muscles, it's back muscles that you have to build. Sit on the edge of your seat. And then just like sit straight upright. I usually read when I'm on the train. I read my Kindle, so I like bring it up here. I don't leave it down here. And then practice like holding yourself upright, shoulders back, without the use of using a chair back. Clock that too. Okay. Okay, the food in Cape Town is so good. Girl, I can't wait to go. Who would you consider steps on next with a muscle body? That's a good question. What girls have muscle bodies? Why can't I think of anybody? It's weird. Who has a muscle body? Serena, let me think of athletes. Ladies, put some people in the chat. Tiana Taylor. Tiana Taylor's a slim muscle body, so that's a little bit different, so I can see your point. Who has a muscle body, y'all? Who's one of the girls? Who are the athlete girlies? Because like all of these girls that I'm thinking of, like an Angel Reese, that Kaiser, whatever girl, they all are very slim. Like the basketball player girls are really slim. Oh, there is that one girl who I think is like a volleyball player who's like pretty tall and brolic. And I don't know if she steps on next, but she is getting a lot of like campaigns, but I haven't seen enough fashions. But put in the chat who is stepping on next as someone who's a little bit more muscular. I am struggling to think of it off the top of my dome. I'm going to have to be honest with you. Okay, let me scroll down. Learn so much through your discussion on golden viral. I don't know what that one means, honey. Okay, child, this keeps on freezing. So how do you have a social life if you don't go out? Here's how I have a social life. I prioritize high ROI events, meaning I go to Fashion Week, I go to Art Basel, I go to New Year somewhere nice, I'm going to the Lynx Gala next month, I go to the galas, I go there. If it's not that, I've never been that girl to go to a bar and just kick it. Never been that girl. I don't enjoy going out personally. I made my home as comfortable as possible. I just bought a heated blanket. I got these big windows. I got everything that I need. I got food downstairs. I got a gym upstairs. I don't need to leave this building. And I did that intentionally because I love my comfort. I love being comfortable. And also, when I go out, I like to be sickening. So it's not just, oh, let me just throw on jeans and sneakers and pop out the house. It's a lot. So I would rather just save all that energy, all that intention for things that net high ROI. I also just don't like being, my mom says this, I don't really care about it that much. I don't like being a common girl, like, oh, you know Jody's gonna be at this, you know Jody's gonna be at Art Basel, you know Jody's gonna be at New York Fashion Week, but I'm not gonna be at the bar every weekend. It's just not my bar. But there's also nothing wrong with that. I'm not mad about that. But I choose high ROI events that have a lot of visibility, that have a lot of networking opportunities, that have sickening people, and I'll prioritize that. And then outside of that, I prioritize just being with my friends and family, or being at home, working, all of that. Those are my two modes. Anything else, like, hey girl, let's just go, or like get dinner with friends, but like, hey girl, let's just like go to a party. No, never that. That ain't it. For me, I just don't enjoy it, but it's nothing bad about it. Oh, you live in Paris. Hi, Vincent Paris. Okay, honey. You need a man, a white, well, whatever. They, them. Have you ever been to Carnival? No. I'm not the target demo for Carnival, and I'm Jamaican. So I'm definitely not the target demo for Carnival. I don't like crowds like that. I don't like soca music. Sorry. I don't really like, I don't like festivals. I don't like concerts. I don't like things that require, unless I'm in the VIP, then we can talk. But I don't like things that require effort or energy, or it feels like chores to me. Like, oh my God, going to the bathroom, I gotta walk 3 million miles, and then I gotta stand in line, and then to get one little hot dog, I gotta wait 5 years, and I gotta stand behind all these people. Count me out. That will never be enjoyable to me. But no shade, I have so many friends. I would say the majority of my friends have been to Carnival, particularly my friends in New York have been to Carnival, and they love it. They live for it. They start booking their Carnival February the year before. They're walking in the mass. They love it. So it is truly no shade. I just hate that kind of stuff. It's not even about Carnival. I hate walking a lot in the hot sun. No. Unless there was like a VIP where I could just ride in a car behind y'all and wear a cute outfit, and then as soon as it gets too much, I can pop back into the villa. But if that's not an option, no girl, you won't ever see me. Hi, I'm not still accepting spots for my program. I'm not a member of the Lynx. The Lynx, one of my homegirls is one of my really good homegirls, so I always sit at her table. The demo tends to be a little bit older for, let me not say too much, but I would say the target demo for people who are in the Lynx are probably like 40 something. Child, where do you live? Omnipresent. Hi, Tiffany Butler. You know you my girl. I'm activating at Art Basel. Oh my gosh, Carlotta, you got to tell us the details. Am I part of the Lynx? Oh, you guys are interested in the Lynx. I'm not. Oh, Shakari. I'm not a part of the, not a part of the Lynx, y'all. I just go. I'm just invited. Show up and show out. Simone Biles is a good one, but is she next stepping? Serena Williams, Venus Williams is a next stepper. Venus Williams is a next stepper. Are you going to South Africa in a group? I am. Sierra is athletic, but she's like dancer athletic. She is slim to me. Kelly Rowland is also athletic, but she's slim. I think this person, based off of the question, was kind of giving like a little bit more of like a professional athlete body type, a little bit bigger. Sha'Carri. Amber from Love is Blind. Who is that? Serena, Simone, Tiana Taylor, still slim. Commit to every moment. Zendaya. How do you get over the anxiety of going to big events alone? I am 25, by the way. Oh, Jewel, that's so sweet. I think sometimes a few things. One, I think sometimes we over-index on like how much we think people care about us. People are not clocking. I mean, people are clocking you, but they're also not. In that, oftentimes, like if you are seeming like you're just having a good time, I think we're in our own heads a lot in a lot of these spaces. Like, oh my God, everyone sees how embarrassing, and I'm by myself, and no one is talking to me. No one cares. I promise you, nobody cares. So one, really, disabuse yourself of the notion that people are like hyper fixated on you. You are just existing in this space. Two, I would say make goals out of it. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to this event and I want to meet 3 people who can serve as mentors for me, and I want to leave with 1 email, that will help you gamify it a little bit where it doesn't feel as much of as an indictment on like, am I weird, am I awkward? You're like, I'm here with a goal. So I would say goal it, just gamify it, just say like, I have this intention and that's all I want to do. And then the last thing is start in low stakes environments. Like start being social in maybe like something that's a hobby or a book club or places where it's not like a ton of people who could be mentors and sponsors. Start doing that and then slowly build your way up to things that, or events or spaces that feel a little bit more anxiety inducing. And that's how I would say getting over your fear and just, and also be very clear on your intention. Be very, very clear on your intention. If your intention is like, I just want to be validated in this space, it's going to be a dub. But if your intention is, I need a mentor so I can up level my career, some of that anxiety will also dissipate as well. Brittany Hales is her name. I take your advice on having an immaculate presentation and socializing, but man, do people become insecure. You know what though? I kind of live for it because I have friends who, you know, or there are people who become really weird when you start being sickening. What you need to watch out for, ladies particularly, are the friends when y'all are going out and they say, oh, is that what you're wearing? Oh, you know what? I'm actually gonna go change. Oh, can I borrow that? And not because because y'all are friends or sisters and want to borrow, but they're trying to be you. Ladies, be careful. A lot of people want to be you. A lot of people want to live in your skin. A lot of women, if they could skin you alive and wear you, they would. So just be mindful. So it's actually really good for you to know up front, because I think the most nefarious thing is having people cosplay as people who are very close to you when they're wildly insecure, wildly jealous, and want to be you. That is the most dangerous thing. Because there's this girl on here who talks about destiny swapping and how like Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez destiny swapped, or how Paris and Kim Kardashian destiny swapped. Like Kim Kardashian got close to Paris. In my opinion, what's for you can never miss you. It's ordained and it's written. Sorry, they're doing construction outside. I hope y'all can hear it. Ghetto. So whatever. I don't think destiny swapping is a real thing per se, but I do think people will get very close to you intentionally and clock it. One thing I wish I could tell my younger self is don't be so naive. There are a lot of people who are wonderful, who are rooting for you, and I choose to believe in those people. But if people are getting a little weird, a little insecure when you start talking about like, oh, I'm gonna wear this, I'm gonna buy this, oh, I wanna do this, and they're like, are you sure? Are you qualified? Sometimes the biggest haters are in your family. Clock it. Be careful, be careful. I've been watching you, girl, and now I'm on an advisory board, attending luncheons and galas. That's why these other girls who try and copy my content could never. But I'm so proud of you, Perfectly Blue. Let us know how your experience is. I hope it has changed your life. I'm super, 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 super happy for you. And this is what it's all about. I just wish I knew this stuff when I was younger, so I'm glad you all are leaning into it. Girl, yes. Posing. Ladies, posture check. Posture check. Are we posed? Girl, yeah, your back starts to crack. After a couple of days, I will say you get used to it. But that first day, and she had me like this. Oh, another thing she taught me is like, okay, do this behind your back. So like this, and stay like this for 2 minutes. So like, look how long my nails are. See, this is what happens when you don't get gel. But behind your back. Okay, for the rest of the live. Actually, no, I need y'all to like this live. So do this after the live. Stay like this for like 2 to 5 minutes, and that will just get you ready for that, okay? But yeah, like this live, girl. Eventbrite. Oh yeah, I love ClassPass. ClassPass is an amazing way to find new places in the city if you want to do workouts. I love ClassPass. I am always going to a studio on ClassPass. The Mountain is You. That's the book. What time do I usually go on? When the Lord calls me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be more consistent, but y'all. Tiana, the groupies and latch on like no one's business. Who are the... Hi, Taylor Monet. Child. You know what? We're not even going to worry about them. The hard thing is they're also significantly younger than me, so I can't really be a bully because the girls are growing, the girls are learning, the girls are evolving, and I just pray. She was put on notice, though. I had to comment on some of her videos like, oh, this sounds familiar. She was put on notice. And, you know, corporate girls are litigious, so I ain't afraid to sue. But no, it's fine. We move. What's for me will not miss me. And I was triggered because I hate plagiarism. Because, you know, at work it happens all the time too. Managers or people will steal your idea and run with it, and then you don't get any credit. And these girls were blowing up, child. These girls were getting 40,000 followers in a week. I was gagged. I was sick. I'm not afraid to admit it. I was jealous. I was sick. But that's the internal work that I have to do. Why does this matter so much to me? Why am I so triggered? If my intention is impact and helping people, then vanity metrics should not matter. That's my highest self-talking. Am I there yet? Not always, but she's a young girl. She will learn, she will grow, she will iterate, and what is for me can never miss these hands. So I was like, I'm not gonna put her on blast. She'll learn. How to build confidence when networking during a cocktail reception or at a conference or at a meeting. Number one, if you're nervous, you need to expel energy. So if you're nervous and you're like, your voice starts to shake like that, what you need to do is expel energy. A lot of people do push-ups before they public speak. If you're about to go into a networking reception and you're like, my hand is shaking, you just have a lot of excess energy that like cortisol levels have increased. You need to move. So do a couple squats in the bathroom stall, do a couple push-ups against the wall, whatever you need to do. I used to take public speaking in college. You would say like, have like a warm-up song. You know, at conferences where like sometimes before speakers will go out, they will have like their entry song, like a milli, and then they go out. Have your song, like that will pump you up. That will help bring confidence. Confidence is also just built with trial and error. You become more confident the more that you do things. It's always going to be nerve-wracking doing something for the first time. So that's why I always say, start in low stakes environments. Start networking at, like someone said, a bar class, a Pilates class, and talk to 2 women. If you never see them again, who cares? But that's a really great way to start building small talk and rapport. Start talking to people who are younger than you. Like I have direct reports, 2 or 3 people that report into me. I make small talk with them. And it's different because I'm their boss, so they have to be nice to me. But it also just helps you cultivate conversation with strangers. The stakes are very low. Like they can't be mean to me. I cut their checks. But, you know, things like that help you just gain confidence and then continue to up the ante each time. I also think if you look sickening, you're confident. If you look good, girl, they have no choice but to be gagged and to love you and to be obsessed. My personal anecdote. But yeah, I would really say practice, expel the energy, be intentional. Kind of like the advice I gave earlier, being intentional and having a goal in mind will help you be much more focused as you do that. Girl, they're not ready for this conversation. Whew, I don't even know what I was talking about at that point. but I know I was right. How is F1 in Vegas? Somewhere to be or no? I've actually never been to F1 in Vegas. I've only been to F1 in Miami. Girl. If you're looking for a man with the trust fund blue eyes, yes, girl, F1 is where you need to be at. But, whoo, one of that story time for another day. Men love a woman who raises their status. I'm telling you, men are the biggest groupies. Savannah James. That is a good body girl. That is who I was thinking of. Art Basel. Okay, we talked about Art Basel events. Okay, let me go back to the. Yes. Sorry, I'm coming, y'all. Girl. Y'all, patience. I had to scroll all the way up. Okay, Superman pose does help with confidence. Yes, or power poses generally. So what you want to do is power poses are things that expand. So all of us are derivatives of animals or like mammal species. So things in the wild, in our prehistoric days, we had to take up space, and that would prove that we had authority and dominance, right? So if you are able to spread your arms out, power pose, that will also help naturally, biologically induce confidence. What happened to your interviews where you sat with influential people? Girl, those videos flopped. That's why I stopped doing them. Those videos were not the best. Hi, Shirley. Not all my girls in the chat. Hey, ladies. Shirley, let me put you on notice right now. Actually, Shirley Vernay to the front. Someone in my comments kept on asking for good conferences and events to go to if you're an entrepreneur. Shirley's an amazing entrepreneur, one of my favorite people of all time. And she is the queen of networking. Actually, a lot of these events that I go to are with, actually, let me not put you too much on blast, Shirley. You don't have folks in your DMs. But she is my roll dog to all of these events. She's brilliant. She's so smart and talented. And I'm blessed to be in communion and friendship with her. Can you put some events for entrepreneurs in the chat if you're still here? Okay, I don't know what that one is. Tips for making friends as an introvert in her 20s. Ooh, child, that's hard because I've never been an introvert, but let me tell you what I think I know. Number one, I think, in my opinion, as an extrovert too, I don't think I'm as extroverted as I was. Introverts have the capacity for depth in a relationship the way that and extroverts have a capacity for breadth. And I think as an introvert, I think having 3 really good friends with a depth of relationship is actually probably more soothing for you and more aligned to your personality than an extrovert. Sorry, I just saw bitches be stealing. Let me scroll off that comment so I can focus, Shirley. Okay. What was I saying? Depth for you. So in order to cultivate depth, you want to have shared experiences and shared hobbies. So I would say figuring out, one, if you're in your 20s, what you actually like. What are you passionate about? What drives you? How are you oriented towards your purpose? Figure out people who are also passionate about those things and cultivate friendships from there. You want people who have shared values. Same for relationships as friendships. Shared values, shared temperament, and shared interests and goals in life. And so by fixating yourself in places like that, that is the best way that you can create friendships. Do you have any new hobbies? I don't. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't have any new hobbies. I'm trying to get a business off the ground. So right now, and I'm in the office 4 days a week. Your girl, my hobby is work. My hobby is making this coin, getting these checks, and making girls mad from scratch. That's my hobby. Waking up like Nara Smith every morning. How can I make y'all sick today? That's my hobby. Okay. I used to spend thousands on useless girl trips that stunted my upward mobility. Ooh, say more on that. Hi, dream girl. Hi, Elise. One thing about Elise, I feel like you got a little crush on me because under every video you be doing them little star. Elise, I see you too, friend. Okay, when I came into your live is when you said posture check and I was hunged over. That's funny. I know some of y'all are looking like gremlins over your phone. Come on, do it with me. What are some good advisory boards to join? Let me know if you're in New York. If you're in New York, I can give you very specific ones. If not, more vague ones. Oh, thank you. I'm intentional about how I socialize. Thank you, MF Marley. You have changed my life. Thank you, Queen. I live in LA and I want to start a young professional networking group to meet people. What do you think? Angel, I love it. One thing that I hear a lot in my one-on-ones or when I talk to women is all of the women who move to LA or live in LA say community is their like biggest area of opportunity. They lack community. They don't know how to make friends. LA is just not conducive. New York City, you can walk out the street and make 3 friends. It's such a, I think New York is like 6 or 12 square miles, such a dense city. Everyone also is just transient, like you're just rubbing against people. So you're always running into people. You can go to any bar or any restaurant and run into people. LA is not like that. You have to know where you're going, get in a car, go there. And it's just a very spread out, dispersed, and not non-communal city. That has what's been told to me and my experiences of it. So I definitely think any professional networking group that you can get off the ground, I would just encourage you what makes it different from any other professional group and what is your long-term vision for it. But yeah. Okay. Blessed beyond measure T. I love that. Nothing worse than fake luxury, fake elite, girl. Okay, Tiffany Butler, posture check. Jody, I'm stepping on next. Stein Goya gown that I saw on Blake Newby. Blake Newby can dress. Blake Newby can dress, child. So whatever she got on, I trust. Blake Newby is definitely one of them ones. Congrats. What's the event? Tell us more, Tiffany. How to build confidence when networking at a reception cocktail. I feel like I shared this a little bit. Number one, make sure you're actually wearing cocktail attire. Because if not, you're going to be so weird and awkward. I don't care what nobody says about like focusing too much on fashion or looks, show up, be yourself. No, don't listen to that. Be yourself, but like if you're wearing business casual at a cocktail event and you're in slacks and a button up or a crochet sweater, you're going to feel awkward, you're going to feel uncomfortable, and it's going to impact how you show up in that space. If you've ever walked into a space and been sickening and know you're eating up the girls, you move differently, you talk differently, how people relate to you is different, and we got to stop with the nonsense that it doesn't matter. It does matter in these spaces. Outside of it, don't. But if you're gonna play and win, in my opinion. So building confidence, I think I shared a lot of tips already about power posing and about being intentional, setting goals for it, all of that. But I also think a big part is just having a lot of confidence is derived from looking good and knowing that you're adhering to the dress code and feeling comfortable and confident in whatever you're wearing, dressing for the body that you have and like really leaning into it. Can never be the Jody. Aw. Never. Okay, how do you deal with rejection or people not being open to mentor you? That's a really good question. So how do you deal with rejection or people not being open to mentor you? You don't take it personal, one. These people just don't have a lot of time. It is, as someone, people reach out to me all the time for me to mentor them. I say no probably 99% of the time because it's just not feasible with what I have going on. Sometimes also I'm not a match for them and it has nothing to do with their capacity. If they want to be a software engineer and build the next Uber, I'm not a good mentor for them. So I will self-select out and has nothing to do. What they're building and doing is impactful and is highly talented and they're highly skilled, but I just don't think I would be value add to them. And so it has nothing to do with their capacity, everything to do with my capacity, both time-wise and my ability to add value. And secondly, if you're noticing this is happening over and over and over again, you may want to interrogate who you're selecting to be your mentor. You may be misaligned with who you're targeting. Like maybe you really want certain type of woman, but that certain type of woman is not aligned to what actual mentorship you need. So interrogate who you're asking to be a mentor, and then also interrogate the way that you're asking and what your value proposition is. It's a transaction at the end of the day. The girls who I've said yes to have always been the girls who delivered some form of value to me, always. And it can be small or it can be big, but I will never forget. I said something, and this was like a year ago at this point, but one girl emailed me and she said, I have a list of 10 ideas for your next pieces of content. And I also think you should be doing da 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 da. Can I get 10 minutes of your time to talk about these 3 things? And I was like, absolutely. I wasn't even in New York, and I was like, yes, I will do it, because she added value. She let me know she was a worthwhile investment. Mentorship is difficult. For me to take my time pro bono to talk to someone is difficult when you have, there's women who have family obligations, career obligations. They are social obligations, life. And for you to be like, hey, can you talk to me every month, or allow me to take you out to lunch every month? That's difficult. But if you're immediately adding value, yes. And also synergies. Like, what do you have in common with them? Did you go have the same alma mater? Did you, are you part of similar organizations? Do you have mutual friends? All of my mentors I met through mutual friends. Hi, look at my boo. Have been through mutual friends, members only clubs. Like, I have been proximate to them. And that's why I always say, just get in the room, get in this space, because all of these people, I was 1 degree of separation away from them. So they knew I was worthwhile investment because, oh, so-and-so is your friend. Okay, let me spend some time. But to just raw dog email somebody it's tough. So make sure that you've seen them, all of that, in the same spaces, part of the same organizations, members, clubs, all of that. Not Shirley saying double tap. Not Shirley being my admin in the chat, girl. Thanks, honey. That's a real friend. Shirley's all up in this. You need a friend who can fight. And Shirley said, I will fight for you. Tips. Oh, I already did that. Yes, I was in the All Too Well music video. Girl, I had my little video vixen moment. Yes, Taylor Swift. The gag is, so how this all happened. I was in a Taylor Swift music video. Clocked the credentials. I got the credit. I'm a Grammy winning music video girl, if you didn't know. And I also got the credential of Dream Girl #1. So, sometimes I feel like you don't really know who you messing with when you over here talking to me. But I'm Dream Girl #1. But no, it was a really cool experience. Taylor Swift is actually sweet. I was not a Swiftie. It was filmed in her home, actually. And we were on set for like 15 hours. And I was probably in it for 6 seconds, and it was a 15-hour shoot. It was actually so much fun. One of my homegirls was a producer she actually worked on Renaissance as well. So I actually went to the Renaissance album release party, and that was a time. But anyways, she was a producer for All Too Well, the music video. And then she submitted my Instagram to be a music video girl. And I knew it wasn't gonna be like a music video. I knew it was gonna be like a cutesy, and they told me it was like, oh, you're gonna be like a dinner party scene. So I was like, okay, cool. And child, actually that was the impetus for my best friend and I breaking up, was that music video, because I was the friend who is like, okay, if I get something, we get something. So I was like, I saw that you submitted my name, I'm also submitting her name. But that ended up not working in my favor, because she ended up getting cut and from the scenes, and then she was not happy about that, and then I didn't do anything. Anyways, so I was submitted for it, I ended up getting it, and then it was like 5 of us it was a scene where Taylor was dating Jake Gyllenhaal, and he brings her to this party, and she's like 19 at the time, and it's supposed to be all of these like working elegant, like I was wearing a like Oscar de la Renta suit, or so I was wearing like a Tom or Moschino, it was something, a designer suit. All of us were really, really, really dressed up. They gave us, we had like a bunch of fittings for weeks beforehand, and we were supposed to be like intimidating like young Taylor as like these posh, older metropolitan women who were like at this party. And he was supposed to be like talking to us and flirting with us, and Taylor was kind of just in the corner like, oh my gosh, like these older women. And it was really fun. It was in her home. She called us all by name. She would say like, Jody, can you actually move like this? Can you actually do this? Can you actually do it? She was really, really sweet. And her home was sickening. And that's that on that. That was my All Too Well video. It was so much fun. She was a doll. She was a doll. Have you had more career impact from your network horizontally or vertically? Can you refine that question just a little bit? I'm not quite sure what you mean. How do you go about building that relationship with a mentor, like the follow-up after a meeting? Okay, good question. How do you begin to cultivate relationships with your mentor after that initial meeting? I think that is where you really demonstrate the ROI of recapping what you all talked about, and then being very, very specific. I think oftentimes, one of the most annoying things, unfortunately, is when people reach out and are just like, hey, I'd love to grab 10 minutes of your time, or like, hey, blah, blah, blah. No, I want to, one, deliver value. So they will send me an article. They will say, I think you should be doing this content. I would love to. A lot of people will say, hey, I'm inviting you to this event. I'm on the board for this gala. Here's a +1. One young lady reached out, and it took her a couple times to reach me, but she was like, hey, there's a VC event that's happening in your city. Here, I think you should go to this, blah, blah, blah. So deliver value, then the ask, and be very specific with the ask. And secondly, this is a relationship. It is not a transaction. I think oftentimes we treat it too much like a transaction, where it's like, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. And it should be, hey, I remember your daughter had her 13th birthday. I hope it went really well. I like to send a small gift after, like, if someone writes me a recommendation, I will always send flowers. I will always send a bottle of champagne or something like that. It is a relationship that you're cultivating. It's not like do. It is a relationship. So send the flowers, send the thank you email, remember their kids' birthdays, remember things about them. If you know they love golfing, like maybe you get them a little engraved golf ball for a birthday or for a work anniversary or for a promotion. This is what couriers favor. Do something. The rest of the girls are doing the regular stuff. Make sure you're intentional about cultivating a relationship with them. Do you recommend getting an online mentor? What do you mean online mentor? All of your mentors don't have to be someone that you know in person. I think a lot of people's mentors are people that they find off of LinkedIn. Classy Halloween events to go to. Girl, I don't know if there is such a thing. Halloween is for the hoes. Just kidding. It's not only for the hoes, but that's when we have an opportunity. You know that Mean Girls line where you have an opportunity to kind of dress up sexy? I don't really know if there's a ton of high-end Halloween things. I'm sorry. I think the fear of being solo is going to start conversations with people. Oh, actually, so Beam Me Up Scotty says, I think the fear of being solo is going to start conversations with people who are already in a group. Just don't interrupt groups of two. Two, they're probably having an intimate conversation. If there's 3 or more, you are good to interrupt or break in. Okay. How do you get started on transforming your lifestyle, particularly as a young woman in college? Coco, if you are in college, the only thing you need to be focusing on is creating a brand of excellence. So doing your classes well, doing your part-time jobs well, and figuring yourself out. I don't want you to think about anything else, because that will just add too much pressure, and then you end up living this inauthentic manufactured life where you're doing things in order to live up to a brand that you've cultivated without really knowing yourself. So in this time, if you're in college, try it. This is trial phase. 19 to 25-ish, do the things, try the things. After like 22, 23, start building foundations, like get a job and things like that. But 19 to 25, girl, try the things, do the things, fail a lot, fall on your face a lot, make the mistakes. This is the lowest stakes you're ever gonna have, college. Whatever you do, people are hardly gonna remember unless you act a fool. People are not really gonna remember. This is where you try the things, do the things, fall flat on your face, fail, and learn and iterate and say, you know what, like, I really thought I was gonna be super passionate about mathematics. I did an internship at math, I hated it, what's next? Or I really thought I wanted to be one of these kind of women, I tried it, it's not for me. Try on all the things, and that's all you need to focus on. Trying it and doing it well and refining and iterating. And then when you're 25, you can say, okay, I have all of these data points about me. Now, how do I lean into them? Now, what kind of woman do I wanna be? Okay, Brooklyn Carnival has lost a lot of its flair. Child. Homecoming season. I went to Northwestern, girl. I'm a smarty girl. Northwestern in Chicago, not Northeastern in Boston, because that oftentimes gets confused. Northwestern, honey, I was an academic. I was a smarty pants. Am I attending any? No. No shade, no tea. I find that homecomings aren't really that fun for me if you didn't go to the school. I've been to Howard, I've been to Spelman. It's very fun, but I feel like it's more of a reunion for people who haven't seen each other in a while. And I'm kind of always just standing there like, hey guys, remember me? And they're like, no girl, you didn't go here. So for me, it's not it, but I love seeing it. I love HBCU culture. I think it's incredible, super fun. I have just never, have y'all ever had a fun time at homecoming and you didn't go to the school? Put it in the chat if you've had a fun time at a homecoming as a +1 to people who went. You're always on the outside looking in, my opinion. So, okay, let me keep scrolling. All right, let me keep scrolling. Tips on going to Art Basel solo. You should. If you're used to solo events, go to Soho House is the tip that I got you. Go to Soho House, you'll meet people and look good. You'll meet people, you run into people. That's like the ground zero for everyone. Tips on attending networking events solo. I think I mentioned it already. Have an intention, goal it out. Don't interrupt groups of 2, interrupt groups of 3 or more. Have interesting questions, have interesting stories. Posture check, have interesting stories and interesting questions about you. So don't just be like, hey, be like, hey, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I'm interested in. Tell me a little bit more about how you attended this event. What was the best piece of advice you heard so far? So just make sure that you come interesting. Okay. We're all at work at Prague. What was your take on waist trainers? Girl, I was snatched when I was wearing those waist trainers. That was what I was giving when I was waist training. Now I'm big back. Okay, do you think you'll stay in New York City for the long term? Unless a man or a job takes me out, I'm not married to New York, but if a man want to put a ring on this finger or a job wants to make me a millionaire, toodles toots, I'm out of here. Okay. Jamaicans don't really be into soca. Yeah, that I don't know what y'all are saying either in soca music. But like I said, a lot of my friends love it. Shirley is in here. She's a soca gal, a real soca gal. Wagwan goodie. You don't know. Real rude gal. Things are going. Okay. Jamaican gals unite. What are the right networking events provided to you? What has the right networking events provided to you? Okay, I think I get the question. What has the right networking events provided to you? Short-term and long-term opportunities. One thing I can say, I went to Cannes for the first time this past June. Yes, June. And everybody at Cannes, I would say 70% of the people that I met at Cannes were like, I'm in a job right now, and the reason I have this job today is because of the person that I met at Cannes last year. Career opportunities, networking opportunities, mentorship opportunities, friendship opportunities, romantic opportunities. I know a lot of y'all girls are getting to the bag via a man. No shade, no tea. If that's what you want to do, you better be in the places to catch that man. That's not at a hotel bar. So that's an opportunity. So yeah, and also, those are like very tangible things. What I would say the most beneficial thing of being in these spaces is it allows you to dream much bigger. It opens the aperture of what you can do with your life, with your career. In Cannes, I was so inspired. I saw women who were making millions of dollars off of being creatives. And I didn't even know that was possible. I mean, you hear about it like Alex Earl and some of these girls online, but podcasting, people had media studios, so many different ways, and I didn't even think about it. And I remember that when I first moved to New York, why I fell in love with it was meeting Black people who were doing so well. They worked in banking, they were consultants, and I came from a very small suburban town in Massachusetts. I just didn't really know plenty of people of color, period, but it really helped me understand what it was possible for me. And that's the best part of all of these spaces. There are some tangible things that you can touch, but it expands. Black women wearing Birkin bags, Black women, like, it's not only about the thing. And I think a lot of people think of me as materialistic or about the thing. It's not really about it. It's about you have optionality, you have capacity. You can be a Black woman who owns penthouses in New York City and flips them. You can be a Black woman who's in the Hamptons and not on MLK Street. That girl cracks me up. Sorry about it. What did she say? You're on MLK Street while I'm in the Hamptons. You're on MLK Street while I'm in the You date Boosies, I date Bezos. That sent me over the edge. Woo! Audacity. One thing, I live for people who are audacious. I live for people who have audacity. She said, y'all are getting taken to the Red Lobster if you're lucky. Y'all are getting shot at on first dates. Y'all need bulletproof vests when your boosies take you on first dates. Bezos, fly me out. Y'all, Spiral sent me into orbit. One of the funniest videos I've ever. Her page is so funny. Anyways, child, I lost my train of thought, but opens the aperture of what's possible for you, and I love that. It is so inspiring for me to see women of color, Black folks excelling, doing well, and you will see that, and you will get that aspiration. I don't think you cannot be what you cannot see. That old adage that people love to say, but it's true. I did not know that you could be a corporate executive at 28 if I didn't see other people doing it. So the benefits of being in these spaces is at least getting a blueprint for your life and whatever you choose to do. But if you want to be a woman who wears a Birkin bag or a woman who wears Birkenstocks, you get to see both of those and choose. Okay. So if people aren't at high ROI events, you don't consider them important? Asking because people feel, Lee, baby, I don't think I said that. I don't know where y'all are getting that. I think sometimes, and I'm going to be very gentle here, Lee and other people who feel this way, sometimes I feel like y'all are projecting a little bit onto me. I said I don't like going to high ROI. I only like going to high ROI events because I don't like going out, period. So unless it's with my friends or dinner or places that are intimate and small where I can really cultivate conversation, or it's a place where I can meet a mentor, sponsor. And when I say sponsor, I don't mean that kind of sponsor, to be clear. Sponsor in like the career standpoint, mentor, sponsor, advocate, make some money off of it. I don't want to go. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I'm not saying those people are important or unimportant. See, I don't really know where we get, where that came from. And I don't, that gags me every time, because it's not that they're not important. I just said, I only want to go to events where I can make some money, meet some new people, be up-leveled, or just be with people that I love and care about. I don't want to go to a bar, and that's on me. And sometimes I think when we feel that way, what we got to do is examine, why is what she's saying making me feel that way? And I think that would be a very helpful exercise. But I want to be clear, I never said that, and I would never feel that way. How to get on boards of philanthropic events or companies. You can apply. Depends on the type of philanthropic event and the type of company. Events, companies. Companies are very different. If you want to be on the board of GLAAD, let's say, or some of these larger organizations, that is a minimum $250,000 spent. Board of the Lincoln Center, a couple million. So, I don't know, what's your name? Anaya, how old you are. I'm assuming under the age of 40, maybe, I don't know. But if you are, you'd want to join a junior board, and that is a good pipeline. There's also some organizations, one is called Board List, that helps pair people of color with boards. So, but those are for executives. I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to be on a board, like a big board, you have to be a corporate executive for the most part. You have to apply, you have to be recommended, you have to be referred, and you got to pay that coin. You got to have that cash. It's extremely expensive to be on boards unless you're on a junior board. And there's probably, like, you can probably be on the board of your school or alma mater, and I don't know if that's that expensive if you're an alumnus of it, but yeah, it's pricey. But apply, be referred. Some junior boards are $200, $300, $500. So that's it. What to do when you get insecure about your What are the recommended galas in New York? Studio Museum Gala, which I feel like should be coming up. Lynx Gala. Apollo doesn't have a gala. Studio Museum, Lynx, Dance Theater of Harlem is my favorite gala in New York City right now. I've been to a couple UNCF galas. That's like a good, like if you're not really used to going to a ton of galas and you want to like get a feel for it, I think UNCF gala, in New York at least. I know in Atlanta, like the Mayor's Ball is a bit bigger, but I think UNCF, School of American Ballet. Now those are the black ones, which I usually attend, love. School, like the ballet galas, those are sickening. Ballet galas, you better come jewels. You better come dressed down. You better come with the mini Kelly. And I know y'all don't want to hear it, but I'm telling you, those ballet galas, you better come correct. So for the black ones I just mentioned, and then for the other ones like Lincoln Center, Umbrella Lincoln Center, ballets, Guggenheim, all of that, those galas. Okay, whew, all right, I think let me go down to the bottom. How do you start getting into these spaces? I'm about to have a video on this next. Your job should be helping you get it. If you work at a corporate job, I don't know what everyone does. If you work at a corporate job, you should be leveraging that job to get you to help up level your social calendar. They should be paying for stuff. They should be subsidizing things. They should have tables, especially if you're working at one of these big companies, y'all, don't take it all on yourself. They will pay. A lot of these jobs, you get free massages in your health benefits. Like, y'all, there's so much that you get included that you just have to ask and know about. Secondly, buy tickets. If you want to go to a gala, you got to have that coin, buy a ticket. Studio Museum ticket is like $1,300. Dance Theater of Harlem is like $1,300. That's the way to go. And then find mentors who will, oftentimes I end up going because someone has a table and they say, you can be the guest at a table. I'm usually going through one of two ways, through work, and I manifested a job that would give me visibility. That's what I wanted in this next role. So my job, we have tables at everything. We get to go for free. Or I don't think I've ever gotten a ticket subsidized from work, but you can, or definitely a conference. And then through mentors, they'll have a table and say, girl, come on. Can't afford it, Kelly. Girl, neither can I. But we're going to pray on it. No, you don't actually need a Kelly bag. I'm just being hyperbolic. Is living in New York City stressful? Yes. If you are concerned about it being stressful, it's stressful. It's only not so stressful if you have money. And I hate to say it, and I don't mean to come off like, oh, if you have money. But it is a very stressful city. And if you are able to pay for convenience, it is less stressful. If you can get your groceries delivered, if you can live in a nice place without mice and without 50 million roommates, if you can have a washer and dryer in your apartment, or you can get delivery served, if you can afford to make it comfortable, it's not bad. But I think there are places where you can live a much less stressful and more comfortable life if that is a sticking point for you. At a certain level, like director and above, get so many perks. Yes, it's true. I'm a nurse. Oh, well, also figure out you don't have to go to these events. If you're like, girl, I'm a nurse and I don't see the benefit, the ROI of going here, there's a bunch of there's a whole scene. The medical world has its own scene. I'm not really proximate to the medical world, but the medical space, child, there's a whole scene. Those doctors conferences, dermatology conferences. Do you have books for social interaction? There's an art collecting book, How to Buy Art, if you're interested in like cultivating conversation about art. I don't know if there's any I don't like this book that much, but posture. But Our Kind of People, if you just want a lay of the land, I don't know if you'll have read Our Kind of People. I find it a little classist and colorist, but you know, if you want to get a lay of like Black, the Lynx, and Jack and Jill, and HBCU and Martha's Vineyard life, you can get a sense of it through that book. I don't know if it's for me. I personally could not finish it. I've had some friends who have read it 5 times, but what else? I don't think I have any other book recommendations, like art collecting books, and then yeah, Our Kind of People. Those are kind of it. Okay, I think I answered. Yes, I'm on time. I'm tired of my teaching job. Oh, Girl, I agree. I said this on another live. I said a lot of us people of color, a lot of us women of color, we are martyrs for our career. I at one point thought I wanted to be a teacher back in the day when I was younger. And I ended up, my first job out of college was a nonprofit. And child, when I tell you, you can still have the same impact. You can still do good work at a corporation. These large scale nonprofits are not that dissimilar from a tech company. So if it's a morality thing for you, the gag is they're very, very similar. So girl, if you don't take your skills to, there's so many previous teachers, a lot of TFA people worked at Google. Like a lot of former teachers, they would work in like the people operations. There's so many roles of people who have to bring like Google Classroom, sorry, my eyelash is getting stuck, Google Classroom to new and emerging markets. So they would have to like teach classrooms how to use Google technology. Like there's so many ways where you can transfer your passion, what you're learning, and the good work that you're doing to something that is more lucrative. But you have to have a lot of experience to be on a board, depending on the board. If you're on a junior board, not as much, but you still have to apply. To be on a big, big board, yes, probably. Hi, beautiful. Hey, chat. Hey, chat. Who's Boosie? Good. Good. You don't know who Boosie is. I feel, what should be the intention when you go to Cannes? You should set your own intention. I can give you some examples of what they could be. It could be, I want to get a mentor. I want to get career inspiration. I want to network with peers. I want to attend panels where I can learn and build skills. Those are all intentions. Hi, Dafa. Love the content. Who is that? What qualities do you look for in a man? Why are you trying to be my man? S feelings B. So I don't know. I can't think about that right now, but I will get back to you at some point. You can tell the intention behind the tone of someone's question. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. Where do you even start? Okay, I think I answered where you even start. It's a week-long conference, Cannes. Okay, we're talking about Cannes. I don't care who I date. I'm never wearing a heartbreak. Child, that whole thing is a mess. That whole thing is a mess. I'm very awkward. Okay. Bye, wig. The wig is diabolical. Not too much on our girl. Not too much on our girl. Boosie and Bezos is crazy. That was a hoot. She is so funny for that one. What? Okay. This is a safe space, right? Can I tell you the real tea? I've seen the think pieces on her. I don't know, y'all. Sometimes I feel like we direct the energy to the wrong people about the wrong things. Like, to me, she is a caricature. She's an entertainer. She's a funny person. Scroll past it. In my opinion, because this is a safe place, in my opinion, there are people who are much more nefarious online that we actually need to be clocking. There are people, in my opinion, once again, that are presenting the lifestyle in such a subtle way and in such a way that makes it so appealing and aren't giving full context of some of the things that happen behind the scenes, that it makes it much more enticing. And I was thinking about this yesterday. If I were to show the young lady creator, like the MLK Street creator, and some of these Instagram girls who have the body and the clothes and the Chanels and they're on private jets and all of that, and I were to show that to my cousin who is 19, 20, and say, okay, girl, if you had to be two of these people, who are you gonna be? She's going to choose the Instagram girl. And they're not being honest either about how they're procuring funds, what the reality of this lifestyle is like. And to me, that is even more dangerous than someone who is being, classist, egregious. Like, yes, probably some internalized racism, all of that is existing in, honestly, probably both categories. But it's much, I don't know, it's much easier in my opinion to kind of see through and to kind of clock what's actually really happening. And she's just funny. She's making jingles, she's making t-shirts. It's an insane shtick. And I think people are kind of gonna like see through it and whatever, be entertained by it. She has audacity, and audacity will take you very far. But I don't know, I'm not as bothered by her content as the way that the online was as bothered by her content. Do I think it's right? Do I think it's accurate? Do I think it's true? Do I think it's insane to be calling MLK? Also, MLK Street sent me into orbit. But like, obviously it's being really weird saying Boosies and Bezos and fried chicken and calling y'all fried chicken and watermelons in the comments and calling people fat burgers. But I mean, it's insane. It's so insane that it's also not dangerous in my opinion. Whereas I think some of these other people are a little bit more dangerous. Anyways, those are my musings. Definitely going to Cannes. Best thing about those conferences. How do you network when you work at a grocery store with no degree? Baby. Yeah. I think when we think about networking, color me bad. When we think about networking, it's foundational and it's cumulative. And you need to have a foundation first before you can start thinking about networking in a really intentional way. Because you're going to get into these rooms and be like, so what do you do? And you're going to be like, So you want, like, my recommendation to you is like, if you want to go back to school, going back to school, getting a job that allows you to be in spaces where you can network. It can be a nonprofit, it can be a teacher, it can be, whatever. But I would recommend like doing some of that foundational work first before you start thinking about networking is my recommendation. I like Soka and I'm American. Ciao. Newsletter coming out for this month. Okay, color me bad. You want my newsletter? You know what? It's not coming out until November because I gave y'all 2 newsletters in. It was October one I sent like a week early because there were so many people requesting it. I was peer pressured into it. So that October already went out. So y'all gotta wait for November. If you're a woman over 40, HBCU homecoming is a great place to meet men. Really? Tell me more. It does give that though. It gives, hey stranger, where's my hug? You looking good, girl. I haven't seen you since Algebra 1-on-1, 101. Where you been at? Oh, where my hug? That's what it gives. So I can believe that. Spell House is a time. It is fun. It is cute. Once again, maybe I like to be the center of attention. Maybe that's what it is. But I always felt like, why am I here? Okay, how do you know if you've cultivated a brand for yourself? I dress well for work. You know if you've cultivated a brand for yourself when people are asking you a whole list. Everyone is coming to you for the same advice or for the same thing. So people are consistently asking you for fashion advice, you've built a brand of being able to dress. If people are consistently asking you for career advice, you've built a brand of having a successful career. Whatever people are asking your advice on, that is how you know if you've built a brand in it. Oh, thanks, Hank Hill. As a 22-year-old, I love your content. Who can I contact for the junior board of the Apollo? No information. Oh, that's weird. Let me see. I need to look that up because I remember I just looked up junior board Apollo, but that was also a couple years ago that I was on that board. I saw Issa said her peers changed her life more than her higher ups. Oh, that's a really good question. Perfectly Blue. Yes. Your peers, I always tell all my young girls and boys, if you're in like a graduating class, or if you do like, there's a lot of pre-professional programs for people who are in finance or whatever. If you need to keep in touch with the people who are part of a cohort, or let's say you're in an analyst cohort for a bank, keep in touch with those people because those people are going to be the ones who start a business and you might be their next investor, or you might start a business and they may invest in you. Those people are going to be the ones who get an opportunity and put you on. Mentors and sponsors, those are change your life once in a blue moon. Your mentor or sponsor will probably change your life 3 times in your life. They'll write a recommendation for you. Maybe they'll introduce you to an investor. They'll refer you for a job, and that's kind of it. Your peers, however, are constant touch points. Hey girl, I'm going to this event, come with me. Hey girl, did you hear about this? Apply for it. Those are much more constant touch points. So always invest in your lateral connections because you will get a ton of ROI. Apply for it. Those are much more constant touch points. So always invest in your lateral connections because you will get a ton of ROI. It may not be as big, but you'll get a ton of ROI. Okay. More content on BFF breakups. Oh, I carry so much shame. Ashley, I'm sending you love, girl. It's hard. I've broken up with a few friends. How do you move on from your friendship breakup? That's a really, really good question. I think it's always been difficult circumstances because I need to ponder on this one. I really want to give a thoughtful answer. To this because it was tough and difficult in the moment, but it always happened around really punctuating moments that really offered me a lot of clarity that this person didn't have the capacity to go with me into this next phase of my life. And it actually allowed me a lot of relief. So I don't think I ever really felt distressed by a friendship breakup. What was that? Distressed by a friendship breakup? What do you think about Diddy is the question before that. I never really felt distressed, but I want to think about it more for people who probably did, because I really could see that usually my friendship breakups happened at a point where I was up leveling, got a new job, started doing TikTok, and it started doing really well. Even changed my look when I cut my hair and, started dressing better, all of that. That is when a lot of breakups happened for me personally. And to me, it allowed me to go into the next phase of life with people who were really aligned to me, and it actually was very cathartic. What do I think about Diddy? Lock him up, lock her up, lock her up. What has been the biggest lesson so far as you've been building your business? That's a really great question, Dia. What time is it, child? How long have I been here? 3 o'clock. How long have y'all had me on this line? Okay, the biggest lesson I've learned so far in building my business, a lot of things. I'll share some. Number one, build for the audience, not for your ego. There was a series that I did on here that was like a glow up experts series, and this wasn't really my business, but it was content. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I'm gonna have a dermatologist, I'm gonna have a hairdresser, I'm gonna have a stylist, and we're gonna ask them like all of the questions that you've always wanted to know about glowing up from experts. Flopped, huge flop. I cared about that. I thought it was interesting, but at the end of the day, if you're on, and like every video flopped. Like I had a hairstylist, and to me, I'm like, damn, those were good questions. Like, how do you get your press out to last? Or like, what facial treatment should you focus on in your 20s and in your 30s? But either how I delivered it didn't work, or whatever, it didn't work. And so delivering what your customer needs, not what you think they want, doing a minimum viable product always. Like oftentimes people are like, I'm gonna launch a business. And it's like, yeah, but have you tested that business yet? Do you have an Instagram? Do you have a social media? Do you have a wait list? That having a minimum viable product will let you know if people are actually invested in what you're trying to buy. How many followers did you get in like the first couple months? Like, do people care about whatever you're trying to sell? Who is your addressable market? There's something called TAM, total addressable market. Who are these people? What are the avatars of these people? And do they care? Are they trying to buy what you're putting down? And then the last thing is like, child, oftentimes we have these visions of grandeur and of success, and I always say it takes 10 years to have the best year of your life. It's never it hardly is an overnight thing, and if it is, you probably should be wary of it. It will require time and work and intention. And then the last thing is, a lot of people have good ideas, but a lot of people don't execute. And if you are not an executor, being in business is not for you. You have to be so bought in. I cannot tell you how many days, weekends I spend inside working on this business, scripting content, scripting out courses, scripting out the newsletter. I don't leave my house, and it has to, because execution, I can have as many good ideas as I want. If you are not committed to doing it, it really doesn't matter. So those are my thoughts on starting a business. Jerry Knight, thank you for sharing my live, friend. Okay. All right. I'll bring it back. I love that all of us are saying bring it back. I hope she does. It was phenomenal. Oh, child. Y'all better run them views up if you want me to bring it back. Look, I pressure tested it. Didn't work. Next. The long form non-content needed time to make. You know what? You might be right. You might be right. I was a pioneer. I used to have these 3-minute videos all the time, and people were like, girl, goodbye. The series would hit now. Let me download it. All these people saying the series would hit now. You better like it if I bring it back. You know what? I actually never had those on YouTube. I never had them on YouTube. I started my YouTube channel. These were a while ago. You didn't see those videos. Yeah, you see them because they didn't do well. Girl, sometimes you gotta pivot. You gotta move if it's not working. I hear y'all, but if it ain't working, it ain't working. On the same line of friendship, what's a good way to make new friends in the space that you are in? How I've made a lot of my friends, a lot of my homegirls were in this chat earlier, and that's a testament to friendship. I know when I log off this TikTok, there's going to be a group chat with all of them. Jody's on live, y'all. Let's get in the live. Let's go support our girl. You want people who you don't have friendships built on superficial things. My friendships are built on depth. Like, we pray together. If the amount of times my homegirls have been like, Jody, you need to read this book. Jody, I will go to their house and be like, y'all, I have this idea. All right, sit down. We're going to get a whiteboard. We're going to brainstorm. We're going to do this. The amount of times I've sent an article like, girl, or one of my friends was launching a YouTube page. I went through her YouTube videos. I was like, girl, you need to stop doing this. Start doing that. This is really good. This is whack. We are committed to each other's success, to each other's development. We love each other for who we are. And you know what's interesting? I don't think I have I'm a couple, but we don't really take pictures on Instagram together because our relationship is not at all about that. We go to events together because we want to go to the same networking events. And it will be, all right, Jody, let me introduce you to this person. All right, let me put you in the room with this person. Okay, Shirley, I know you love this kind of stuff. Let me make sure I introduce you to this person. Here, I got so-and-so's email, girl. Like, I'm not supposed to share it with anyone, but I'm gonna share it with you. That is the sort of relationships that we have. So to that vein, operating from a place of authenticity, from genuine care, from not caring about the optics of friendship. I don't, like, a lot of people sometimes will be like, oh, does my friend look good to be in photos? Can we be outside? Does she get the same kind of guys I do? I don't care about any of that stuff. I care about people who are committed to my well-being, who I believe in, who we share values, who through the hardest points of my life will get them through. And it is, that is how you create long-lasting friendships. If you create it on like quicksand, it's going to develop, it's going to be gone very quickly. So figure out shared values. So that can be church. A lot of us go to the same church. It can be through mutual friends. A lot of my friends are through other people who I share values with, and then I've been introduced to their circle or network, through pre-professional organizations, through work, through school, but somewhere where you have like synergies. And I think that's really important. Okay. Changing your look. Yes, girl. Okay. I'm gonna do a couple more, and then we've been on here. How long have we been on here, y'all? Posture check. Join my team. I don't know how these things happen, but I like them. Okay. Changing your look. Ooh. Yes, I changed my look for a couple reasons. One, the wigs and the weaves was not it for me. I hated doing my hair. I was not good at doing my hair. Secondly, I was going through like a therapeutic journey, and I just felt like I just want to disabuse myself of like these beauty standards. And then lastly, I don't know, I had kind of been clocking it. It was one of those things where I really liked how I looked when I wore my hair in a ponytail. I really liked how I looked when I had braids. I really liked how I looked. I used to like wrap my hair. You know, black girls used to wrap our hair at night with the scarf. And I was like, oh, I actually think I look sickening with my hair wrapped more than I did with the hair dip. So then I was like, what would it give if I cut my hair? Child, I bought some wigs. I looked crazy. The wigs were not a 1-for-1 correlation. But I was in a space where I was like, I want to change my look. I also feel confident enough in who I am that I don't really need external validation. If I look insane after I cut my hair, I'm okay with that. And then lastly, finding people, you know, they say I look like Megan Good. That's what I hear. That's what the girls say, okay? Don't shoot me, don't kill me, but that's what the girls tell me. And to me, I love her with short hair. She looks so beautiful with short hair with braids. And then I was kind of like, okay. And Jordan Woods. Jordan Woods is another girl, and Doja Cat. And then all of those girls have like done a bob, and Lori Harvey. Okay, not too much on me now. I know y'all talking in the chat. But I think, yeah, who put that cowboy hat on me? I was giving Steve Harvey with that mustache though, so that's how you know, Harvey and I are family, because I kind of look like Steve with that mustache. Anyways, yeah, and all of those girls looked good with short hair, with dark hair. So I was open to it, and that's how I changed my look. Kind of finding like style avatars, people that you look like, and then kind of going from there was how I changed up my look and experiment. Like, I was the queen of giving sexy. I hate to say it. This is also something I've been thinking a lot about. I was really into giving sexy. You know, I serve body, I serve face. I was like very into like their dress, blah, blah, blah. I am now evolving, and I'm also, I'm getting older, where I don't care as much about like being hot as I do about dressing and telling a story and being stylish and fashionable. So now I'm buying more like wide leg jeans, those lemon pepper steppers. I'm buying more baggy clothes. I'm buying more interesting and dynamic pieces. So play around. Your style will evolve. Like a lot of people, I think, will go through the time of being really, really hot, then going through the time of being very fashionable. They'll go through a tomboy era, but figure out and play with what style works for you. I do want us as women, and I'm talking to myself, to move away from always caring about being hot for the male gaze though. Last night, you would have never caught me. I'm a dress girl, like body dress girl, but these days I've kind of just been, I wore a pair of pants and a blazer to Dumbo House in Zero Bond, and that was never me. I would always be in a sleek dress and a heel and but I'm trying to give something else. I'm trying to evolve my style, and I don't think it was ever intentionally about the male gaze, but can you ever escape it? No, not really. Okay, hold on, child. Let me look where we at. Style evolution. Thank you, honey. AI Pinterest. That's a really good one. AI Pinterest. Like, you can create vision boards with what you like, and then see what works for you. Like, everyone wants to be Jasmine Tooks. Not everyone can get. I can't give Jasmine Tooks. I would look insane in that Upper East Side, grandma core style. That's not for me. I would look nuts. I'm too short. I'm too much body. No, but seriously, I just can't. Oh my God, Carrie Hilson. That's also my other doppelganger, the girls say. It's just girls with long chins. That's really it. I do look like Megan's sister. Oh, Lori Harvey. Oh, not y'all gassing me out. Let me print these out. Simone Biles, or that girl, Simone, the podcast girl. I have short hair, but dye it blonde. See, I can't do the blondes. Because I feel like it would clash too much with my actual, another tip. High contrast. You always want to be contrast. So if you have my skin complexion, blonde hair doesn't always look good on us because you want to contrast. But those dark skin women who look gorgeous, sickening with the blonde, contrast. So always lean into creating contrast in your visual aesthetics. So that's why I'm not gonna dye my period. Hi. Yeah, my forehead is actually kind of big, but you want to create as much contrast as you possibly can. Like, if your skin is my complexion or whatever, then you want to have dark hair. If you, or lighter, you want to have dark hair. If you're darker, you want to just create moments of contrast in your aesthetics. You want to do that with your eyebrows and your hair color. Megan's sister, Lamaya. No, I look like Megan, not Lamaya, okay? No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know what Lamaya looks like, but I just want to be Megan. Okay? Because that's that girl. Are these all new friendships? Been friends with, some of them are newer, like in the past 2 years, but some of them I've known forever. And then our friendship got deeper not recently, in the past 5 years. I'm old, so some of my friends I've been friends with for 15 years. I'm going to visit my best friend who had a baby in Chicago. She was my college roommate. So some of them have been forever. Some of them have been friend recently. Let me take a sip of water, y'all. You know me talking. Okay. Revamping my wardrobe for the kinds of events I would like to start to attend. Where would you start? I actually have a video coming out talking about this, but I would actually start, well, I've talked about capsule wardrobe, so doing the basics before. So trousers, jeans, denim. I think a good pair of trousers, y'all, like a good suit and a good pair of like wide leg trousers, you can really do so much with that. I'm in my style revamp era, and I started wearing these like wide leg pants and like a white button up, and I have been wearing this white button up with so many things. I wear this white button and it's like a big, I get it starched. I get my button up starched, so do that. So your collar will like sit straight up and it's crisp. If you don't dry clean anything, dry clean your white shirts. You can really give like a fashion. If you have a crumpled white shirt, baby, it don't hit the same. You gotta have a stiff collar. And you can wear that with a silk skirt. You can wear that with jeans. You can wear that with a wide leg boot. Or wide leg pant. Like you can mix and match that so much. So I am a fan of like getting the basics: white shirt, trousers, a good suit. And then what I would also offer to you is start experimenting. So rent clothes, and this will be in my next video. So check out my next video for some of the websites. But a lot of these girls rent clothes. I did not know that. I was out here actually buying stuff. No, you can rent your clothes. So if you're still trying to experiment with fashion, or you don't want to put down too much money on a gala dress, you can rent one. And you can see what works for you. If you don't want to buy a $2,000 dress or a $500 dress or $200 dress, you can rent one for the evening for $80. And you can kind of figure out what silhouettes look right on you and then invest in purchasing. I would also say purchase good fabrics. Don't purchase polyester. Don't purchase fast fashion. Go to Macy's, go to Saks, and get it tailored. I bought this cute little Miu Miu suit set. Yes, I got it yesterday, and I went to go get it tailored because it totally changes the aesthetic of an outfit. The pants fit gorgeous. The suit top, it's like a vest suit. I was like, ew. And then I was like, oh, it's not ugly. It just wasn't tailored. So also tailor your clothes. Okay, all right. What else we got? In the past, I only got one pair of sneakers. Air Maxes. And that's it. I can see with red or burgundy hair. Do I want to give the vision? I don't know. I don't know. Rose gold, child, platinum, fire, child. Y'all trying to have me out here looking nuts. Let's see. Transformative piece. Oop. What's some ash blonde? I don't know if ash blonde would eat on me, y'all. Am I giving? I feel like the dark is a contrast. Okay, what's the most transformational piece of advice you've ever received? Champions don't become champions in the ring. They are merely recognized there. Meaning, you have to, and this also is like one of my other favorite quotes, it takes 10 years to have the best year of your life. I always repeat that. It requires work and time and energy, and you won't constantly have a group of people being like, yeah, Jody, you're crushing it, you're killing it. You will simply have a moment where you will be recognized for all of the work that you've done and you've toiled. Is there another piece of advice that's been transformational for me? I don't think there's been a piece of advice that has been transformational for me. I think there have been moments that have been transformational for me where, I went through this moment where my dad passed away. I went through a breakup, a friendship breakup. and I got laid off from my job in like 3 months. And what that will do is, one, put you very close to mortality. You begin to recognize that like life is fleeting and you only have but so much time on this planet. What are you choosing to do with that effort and time and energy? And that really solidified. And also, everything can be gone in an instant. Now what? Now what do you have? You will always have your purpose. You'll always have your reputation. You'll always have your vision. You'll always have your own internal wherewithal. So how do you cultivate that? So I would say that was like a very transformational time in my life, which is like, everything can be gone. All of the status markers of working at this big job. I was the head of a division, and it was gone. I was on vacation. Well, it was New Year's. I was actually on bereavement leave. And all I saw was that Cal invite put on my calendar, 30 minutes with HR. I said, ooh, I know what this is. Child, a parent is gone in an instant. A friendship during one of the hardest times of your life, gone in an instant. A relationship we broke up when we were in Mexico on vacation together, instant. Everything that you think makes you is gone. Now what? Now who are you without those things? And taking the time to cultivate that. Okay, all right, love y'all. It's been, how long has it been? Almost 2 hours. So love y'all. I will try and do this again next Sunday, but it was so good to see you. See you next time. Bye.